Here we are in this week's assignments module, and these assignments are due Sunday, June 20th. For this week's reading, in the textbook, you'll be reading the introduction, which is about the origins of graphic design, as well as Chapter 1, which is about Victorian graphic design during the 19th century. The most significant development of this time was Johannes Gutenberg's invention of printing from movable type, which revolutionized ways of thinking and learning. Gutenberg not only created a new industry, but he anticipated mass marketing. Also, this was a time when various typefaces began to be developed and designed, and many of these typefaces we still use today, and they are the direct result of Gutenberg's invention, as publishers looked for ways to increase legibility through the style of letter forms. And here we can see some examples of these early typefaces, which we still use today, like Baskerville and Didot. Chapter 1 is about the Industrial Revolution during the 19th century. And it was really during this time that science and technology were applied to the graphic arts. And there was a rise in all areas of printing, papermaking, and typesetting. And the rise of this printing helped to create a new industry, which we call advertising, and with it demands for new typefaces, design concepts, and high-speed printing. So it was really during this time that the idea of a graphic designer came about. And here we can see some examples of various types of Victorian graphic design and how it developed to better advertise and arrange elements This week's lectures include a lecture on art and design, which is important for you to read because artists and designers both create visual compositions, but their reasons for doing so are quite different. So be sure to have a look at this article, which explains the difference between art and design. I've also included lectures on the history of typefaces, which developed after Gutenberg's invention of the printing press, an interesting article on the textile designs by William Morris, advertisements for Lydia Pinkham's products, which is very interesting. She was a middle-aged housewife who created products in her home, and also 2 lectures about the elements and principles of graphic design. So this week you're going to introduce yourself to the class and talk a little bit about yourself. To introduce yourself, just click the link above where it says Introduction, and that will take you into the discussion board. You just click in the reply field and you can post your introduction. This week, you'll work on your first bibliography and design and context assignment. This assignment is designed to help you understand the stylistic characteristics of the time period that we're learning about. And what you're going to do is select a work of graphic design that is not illustrated in the textbook. It can be by the same printer or a graphic designer, but it must not be pictured in the book. And that's from Chapter 1 or the introduction if you choose. And again, this assignment is designed to help you understand the stylistic characteristics of the time period that we're learning about. First, you'll create a bibliography of your design example. And be sure to have a look at the Research Tools page here in Canvas to help you understand that. And you must include at least one book, one journal article, and one web link. Next, you'll write a creative brief. And use the guidelines below as a kind of an outline and just write a few paragraphs about your topic. It doesn't need to be more than 1 page long. But be sure that you select a work of graphic design, not a work of art for your example. Frequently, the textbook includes examples of art, architecture, and crafts to show how various mediums share similar stylistic characteristics. But be sure you select a work of graphic design, and of course, graphic design is defined by the combination of words and images in order to convey a message. First, you'll identify the designer. This week, you may not have a designer's name. You may just have a printing company name, but include that, and you'll include these other requirements. You'll provide a brief biographical background of the graphic designer or the printing company. You may not have that this week, but you will in future weeks. You'll also describe the message of the piece and how it is conveyed. It might be a literal message, or maybe a symbolic or metaphorical message. Then you'll describe the stylistic characteristics of your example that are similar to other examples from this time period. And some of the things you might consider are how the use of line is used, how color is used, balance, subject matter, and typography. So again, it's designed to help you understand the stylistic characteristics of this time period. You may also want to include influences such as historical styles or specific designers that influence the style of your example. Then you're going to include the context for the design example. You're going to find at least 2 historical connections which examine the work within the context of its time. And these examples may include things like political events, economic events, maybe some scientific discoveries during this time. But these help you understand the context in which the design example was created. Then you'll post your image, bibliography, and brief to the discussion board, and you'll respond to at least 2 of your colleagues' posts with either one additional historical event or another image. And this assignment is worth 75 points. And when you're ready to submit it, just click this link, and that will take you into the discussion board where you can post your reply and your assignment in any format that you choose. It could be a Google document or a Word document. It doesn't matter, it's up to you. So be sure to review those requirements. This week you'll begin working on your museum exhibition project, the conceptual phase. This is not due until next week, but start working on it this week. And so for your final project, which you'll be working on all semester, you're going to create an exhibition on a specific topic of graphic design. So you'll need to look through the textbook to maybe find a design period or a designer that interests you, or maybe you have some ideas of your own. And what you're going to do is write your exhibition topic and overview. And this is just a big idea a statement of what the exhibition is about. But you need to have a clear vision of what the exhibition is about. So take some time to research topics and subjects and have a clear proposal. And your concept and overview should include some of these considerations. I've also included examples of museum exhibition overviews to help you understand what they are like if you've never seen one before. Here's one from the Metropolitan Museum of Art recently. And here is their exhibition overview. You can see it's only a few paragraphs long, but it clearly states the aims and goals of the exhibition and what it's about. So have a look at those. I've included exhibition overviews for various types of museums. Also, I've included a bibliography with links to various topics that are covered in this week's reading. So that's this week's assignment. You'll begin working on your museum exhibition topic, the conceptual phase. Again, this is not due until next week. You'll submit your bibliography and design and context assignment. You'll introduce yourself to the class. And you'll read the introduction and first chapter in the textbook. So that's this week's assignments. Again, they're due Sunday, June 20th. If you have any questions, be sure to email me. Otherwise, have fun learning about the origins of graphic design.